585 million naira scandal. Stop insulting Nigerians. Falana tells Beta Edu. Abi, it's high time that everybody will start calling her out because she's already shouting that the allegation against her is baseless. Okay, that she followed the procedure. Why did you follow the procedure? Eh? I'm telling you, you can't defend this, even though we are in APC where they said no matter how much your sins are, come to APC, your sins are forgiven. That is the slogan of Oshomole when he was the national chairman of APC as of 2019. Okay, so and that has been the modus operandi of APC till now. If not, this kind of woman is supposed to have been removed from office now while investigating her. But right now, federal government is saying that she's under investigation and appropriate action will be taken after the investigation. Meanwhile, she's still in office doing more. This is insulting the accessibility of Nigerians. So let's see exactly what Falana is saying here. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana on Sunday urged the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Beta Edu, to stop insulting Nigerians following her claims that the allegation of a 585 million naira fraud were baseless. The embattled minister came under heavy criticism on Friday after a memo surfaced where she directed the Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwa Toyin Madin, to transfer 585 million naira to a private account owned by one Oniyelu Bridget Mujishola, who the ministry claimed currently serves as a project accountant grants for vulnerable groups. The instructions for the payment are contained in a leaked memo dated December 2023. The Punch reports that the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation said on Friday that the 585.18 million naira grant for vulnerable groups in 4 states were approved and followed the stipulated due process of government. But Falana, in a statement on Sunday, said that while the minister has not denied that she approved the payment of the over $500 million naira to a private account in contravention of the extant public service rules as well as the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Offences Act and the penal code applicable in the Federal Capital Territory, she refused to apologize to the federal government and people of Nigeria and calling it quits for betraying the confidence reposed in her. The minister has arrogantly said that the $585.18 million fraud allegation is a mere fabrication by her detractors and an alleged attempt by mischief makers to undermine her ministry's effort in fighting corruption and uplifting the needy. Can you imagine? Speaking further, Falana noted that though the Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Medin, has successfully frustrated the criminal diversion of the said sum of 585.1 million naira from the public treasury, it is crystal clear from the leaked memo of the minister that the offense of an attempt to commit a felony has already been completed. Oh boy. There can be no legal justification for the criminal diversion of the said sum of 585.18 million naira for disbursement to vulnerable people in Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Lagos, and Ogun State, since the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs has collated the individual bank account of all the vulnerable people. Exactly. So if you have collected the individual bank accounts, then why not pay them directly? Why are you using an individual's account to make the payment or disbursement? That is fraud. That is fraud. So having regard to the facts and circumstances of this extremely embarrassing drama, we commend the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for the recovery of the sum of 37 billion naira meant for vulnerable people in Nigeria. Oh boy. So what this woman is doing, they say it's just 3 or 4 months into the system, and look at what is happening. And she's arrogantly saying that it's just a mere fabrication by her detractors, okay, to undermine her good work. Which good work? Of fighting corruption and uplifting people from poverty. How? You are diverting such huge amount into a personal account, and you are saying that you followed due process. Wow. Now for this woman, this woman will finish this country, I'm telling you. So the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, had described the 585 fraud allegation against her as baseless and an alleged attempt by mischief makers to undermine her ministry's effort in fighting corruption. Can you imagine? This one, they fight corruption. The embattled minister made this known in a statement posted in her Facebook page on Saturday. So the minister came under heavy criticism on Friday after a memo surfaced where she directed the Accountant General at Federation, Oluwatoyin Medin, to transfer 585 million naira to a private account owned by one Oniyolu Mojishola Bridget, who the ministry claimed currently serves as the project accountant grants for vulnerable groups. So the instruction for the payment is contained in the leaked memo dated December 20, 2023. But this woman has refused to accept that what she is doing is bad. And in the midst of that, CSOs have demanded humanitarian affairs ministers probe. I think they will do that. Anger over the memo issued by the Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Betta Edu, instructing the Accountant General of the Federation, Dr. Oluwatoyin Medin, to pay 585 million naira into the private account of Bridget Oniyolu sparked on Saturday, with the opposition parties calling for her sacking and other anti-corruption crusaders calling for the probe of the transaction. The People Democratic Party, Labour Party, and civil society organizations, insisted on the prosecution of Edu for money laundering. The minister had claimed that the payment was meant for vulnerable groups in Akwa Ibom, Cross Rivers, Ogun, and Lagos State. The development is happening against the alleged laundering of 37 billion naira by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management, and Social Development under the former minister Sadiya Umar Farouk. Oh boy. The latest incident coincides with the probe of 3 other ministers who served under former President Muhammadu Buhari for grants estimated at 150 billion. The opposition parties, in the separate interviews with Sunday Punch on Saturday, demanded the audit of the ministry from the time it was created by Buhari. So in the letter, Edu instructed the Accountant General of the Federation to pay 585,189,500 naira to the UBA account of Oniyelu Bridget Mojishola. So according to the document, about 219 million was earmarked as 2023 grant for vulnerable groups in Akwa Ibom State. 73 million was budgeted for Cross River State, 219 million for Lagos State, and 72 million for Ogun State. The letter reads, I hereby approve the payment of the cumulative sum of 585.189 million naira. These are payments for programs and activities of the Renewed Hope Grant for vulnerable groups. Oh boy, this woman trial. And meanwhile, after that, thank God that the Cartagena Federation did not honor that instruction, and now the woman is ranting that what she did, there's nothing wrong in what she did. She followed the process. That those her detractors are just trying to fabricate it against her. But political parties, civil society organizations, and individuals have come out to say this woman must be detailed, must be prosecuted accordingly, and must be probed and investigated. But when I see this woman, her own looting might even be more than what Desi Animadeke did. I tell you. So that is what is happening. Falana has now come out to say this woman should stop insulting intelligence of Nigerians, sensibility of Nigerians. Her arrogance in the midst of the suspicion is getting too much, and she need to quit that office. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comments.